What's going on, guys? This is Grim Reaper back with more than enough. Actually, a little bit less than you want, but also way much more than you deserve. My boy, we back with Man Pop on turbulent times, to say the least. After about a month of delays, of redraws, of scarce information, I know y'all boys was hungry. Just writhing in pain and lack of the chapter. But I'm here with the Holy of Holies. I'm here with they who come to help. What's going on, boys?
This is like a sermon.
Yeah, I didn't know where you were going with that.
Neither did I.
You should be a pro wrestler.
Whoa. Nah.
That was straight up like you opening up Raw. That was like a Raw opener.
Pass to Grimm.
We got Stone Cold.
Instead of beating people over with a chair, you beat them over with the Bible. It's like, filled with the Holy Ghost, motherfucker.
Volume of One Punch Man.
So what's going on, guys? How you guys been? Oh, by the way, don't say the keywords. Don't use those keywords that'll get us demonetized. You know the keywords.
You're usually the one that breaks that rule.
No, not those keywords. The other special keywords.
I know you're the one that usually uses the keyword.
No, well, yeah, those but the new keywords that they added recently.
Boner?
No. You know what they are, but just don't say it though. You don't say it though.
Pillow fight?
Bruh, go, bro. How y'all niggas' days been, bruh?
Fantastic.
Pretty good.
All right.
Wait, just pretty good, Keisha? No, hold on, guys. I'm stopping this damn podcast. Just pretty good?
Yeah, pretty good. You know,
All right.
After this long drought of no One Punch Man, you know.
All right,
pretty
bye.
good days coasting.
But so you stopped the whole podcast and you were still okay with pretty good.
Yeah, I was suspicious.
So with the redraws, Mai and the Phoenix fight, we're probably gonna talk about them in appropriate succession, starting with Mai. So what did you guys think about that?
I formulated various theories to what the hell that ending was all coming up to. So that, at least he was merciful this chapter, or this version. You got to give it to him. But then getting stabbed in the eye, that was weird.
Impressive.
Well, it made no sense. That's not how your body would react. And he didn't react at all.
Wait, your body doesn't react like that when you get stabbed in the eye with a tongue?
I don't.
Oh.
No.
You might want to go to your doctor.
Yeah, no, I liked the redraw. I mean, the best thing about it was probably it didn't take away from what Amai did originally, because we know what he was going to do and he still had the intention to do it, but it just gave a bit more to, okay, Grimm, I see you hang around there for a bit. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool.
Completely out of context.
Oh, I get it because of the hallway. That makes sense. Yeah, okay. That's good. You're gonna have to edit this bit out. But I guess the best thing about it was it gave a bit more of a highlight to the free swords, especially Iron. Iron was great because of the redraws as well. And it just, yeah, and obviously, like Keisha said, that bit of a hint towards whatever my mascot going on too. Yeah, it was a good redraw.
Yeah, I agree with both of them. I thought it was awesome. We got to see more of the samurai apprentices, but yeah, I'm really, really eager to find out exactly what's up with Amai, especially seeing that little tonguing he got. No idea what that was about. No idea what that
Tonguing.
means.
You got a tongue.
I'm looking forward to.
They don't call it a French kiss, I guess, in England, do they?
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like an English thing. No, did he give you a little tonguing?
Just the tip now.
I should never have said that damn word. Now he's humping his pillow.
Dude, that sounded awesome.
But yeah, I was happy that we got to see the three apprentices, Ian, Bushido, and Okamai touch, do a little bit more. And Ian's kind of uppity intelligence was quite nice to see as well.
I liked the original one, of course. Amai's brutality. It was epic. Like, come on. But this makes sense, which I'm sure you guys have heard by now. This is pretty much how the original fight between these two plays out in the webcomic, although Super S is a different character in the webcomic because of, like, I don't know. One was like working at some animation or some, I don't know, some comic place and they own the rights to it or something. I don't know. That's how we got Super S. But this also gives development to Iron in them too, which is pretty cool. Everybody likes them. But and then Narinki's Private Squad, them living. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
That changes a lot. And also, you know, how we've been getting these revisions. Expect a lot more revisions. Like, a lot more.
Yeah, I've kind of expected that.
Yeah, there's a... I don't mean to interrupt you, but, like, just
go.
on that, like, it was really, really, like, hard to deal with, like, the whole time off. Like, we were doing, like, sparse videos, or, like, the topics were getting, like, difficult to, like, make a lot more content for. Because, like, we already get a bi-weekly release, but, like, with, like, the possibility of, like, all the different threads now, like you just mentioned, the Narinki squad, Child Emperor's gonna be doing something differently. The interaction with Even Natural Water has to be different as well. There's a bunch of different pieces that like are not questionable as like to their continuity. And like I don't mean to like connect current events to this, but like we've been going through some like a bunch of interruptions for like the past 6 months. I don't think it'd be crazy to expect like the next 6 months to be like riddled with like delays and like I don't know, just things stopping the continuity of the chapters in terms of like getting past 132 for a while. Like we really might not get past 140 this year.
Maybe. I don't know, because like this is the first volume we're getting this year. And I think we normally get like 3 or 4 in a year or something like that. Maybe 3. I don't really remember. But after this, we'll probably get, if we're lucky, 1 more volume this year, you know, maybe in the fall or something. So that's definitely when more redraws would happen. So we're going to have a little reprieve, at least in the summer and the beginning of the fall. So, you know, maybe, you know, squeeze a few chapters in there, hopefully. But as for like the rest of what happens in this chapter with the My Mask, I'm sure we're going to talk about.
We have enough time to like at least get into detail with like the important stuff.
Well, right now I was just mainly talking about Amai with him getting his tonguing.
I'm here for it. Let's go.
No, he's getting the slander, bro. He's getting.
I mean, can we talk about that now, or?
Yeah, let's ride. Really?
Okay. At this point, I think it's fair to say that like whatever's going on with Garou is probably going on with the My Mask as well. Meaning that My Mask is like, at the minimum, half a monster.
Okay.
Because, like, imagine if this happened to Garou. Like, he got stabbed in the eye like that. Don't you think something probably similar would happen to him?
Okay, this is where we have to have a conversation since we got there fast. I fuck with it. All right, so it's on the screen now, right? You guys can see it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. If you got stabbed in the eye, like the actual eyeball, your face wouldn't crack like this. And his actual eye, yeah.
Yes.
No.
I didn't know.
Wait, Grimm, your face doesn't crack like that?
Okay, I just had to state that because people in Discord are making me out to seem crazy when they're telling me, he didn't do this, and like your faces people don't do that, or people's faces don't do that. I just want to state that first, declare we agree. All right, bet. Secondly,
Oh, I remember
No.
when people thought you and I were having like a war of words because I was trying to state something and you were misunderstanding it or something.
yeah, bro. People blow shit up all the time, and like but we gotta remember it's Discord though. Like it's a battleground for a reason. You gotta suit up for it.
It's also called Discord for a reason.
Yeah. But you see his eyeball right there. Like you see the pupil. I think that's what it's called, the pupil or whatever, facing different directions from where their hole is. His eye is still functional. So either whatever she didn't puncture deep enough to like actually hit whatever's behind this, but
He's got a durable eye meat.
like what is this? Like Matt Sundown? Like what is this, bro? Like why did his face do that?
It's a sweet mask.
Yeah,
Ooh.
That's a sweet mask.
that's the first explanation. You wanna expand on that, Matt?
No, not really. It was just a joke. I guess if I had to guess what's going on with him, he could be similar to maybe Hellfire and Galewind, where he can control his monsterization.
Oh, you're saying he's just full blown monster? Not even half?
That's
Uh,
I think too.
I think.
I mean, have we seen very many monsters that are like that can do that? Or any?
What, have that kind of regeneration?
No, I wouldn't even call it regeneration. I'm saying like, because he's saying like from what I got from Matt's sentence, I thought of like he has a monster's form or like he's hiding something. Like he's called Sweet Mask for a reason. The namesake has obviously something to do with this. Like this is a disguise he's putting on for a reason. So I could agree for a fact that he's probably a monster right now. Or
I could tell you literally why he's called Sweet Mask.
Manga
He
canon
changed
wise.
it from secret.
Manga canon wise, yes.
Oh, the data
Yeah.
thing. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. That's like that's his canon backstory. When he originally started as a hero, he wore a mask, like when he was like C class or B class or whatever, working his way up. I don't think it specifically says like where he was in his career, but he definitely wasn't like top of the A class. And then like one day his mask came off or something, and then everybody saw that he was like super handsome. So they called him, handsomely Sweet Mask or My Mask or whatever.
Huh.
But before we continue on, like Sundown telling us why the fuck his eye is still moving when it's punctured. What's good, Sask?
Yeah, go for it.
What's good, Sasks?
Sat's here?
man.
Sweet cheeks.
Bro, I set an alarm for 4 o'clock and that shit said no. I got my eyes low def. I didn't, but it's a good thing y'all talking about that because I didn't even get a chance because I was gonna look at the redraws again because I didn't really. I read them, but I didn't really get to read them. I need another glance at it.
We know you Sundown and we know y'all types.
Yeah, I mean, but I tried, man. I tried.
Were you guys
Okay.
also like in high school, like doing homework in homeroom or before the class started?
I did.
Occasionally,
Oh,
yeah, occasionally.
In class,
Say
dude.
that I never
Deadass.
did it.
There were times where like I'd wait to get to class.
I sprained my ankle and I'm doing my homework.
No, because they'd give us like 10 to 15 minutes at the beginning of the class, settle down and get his shit ready or whatever. So it's like, nigga, what you got for B? All right, bet. Why, nigga, that shit wrong, bro. Chill.
Yo, anime makes that 15 minutes seem like 15 hours. You ever notice that, like in anime where it's in school, they're just chilling in class for like the whole day.
They never had a proper lesson in Bleach throughout the entire series.
Hopping out the window and shit.
Series.
Yeah, Ichigo became a doctor at the end, which is the thing about it.
Oh, this was easier than I thought.
I guess things were easier after the world wasn't coming to an end to get a doctorate.
But Sasuke, we're talking about the mind mask revision. What are your overall thoughts on that?
Yeah, it was surprising for sure. I was happy with these redraws because when I seen Sweet Mask, his face crack, I say, yo, I said, what? I said, what the fuck is going on? But yeah, the chapter was pretty good. You know, having the disciples come back, do their thing, and oh my God, Grimm, you are terrible. You are terrible.
What do you
That
mean?
with the fact that that chapter had to cause such controversy, you're up there saying is Eon faster than Tweet? I'm like, what the fuck is all this? I said, what the fuck is this?
It is not done. Zoe tried to avoid that shit by coming to the face reveal. Quick, we going back. We going back after this shit.
Oh my God, I don't want to do that. I thought I came in here too late to avoid talking about shit like that. I thought it was covered.
Eon
My
over a
bad.
mine. New S class, baby girl.
Oh
He got it.
no.
The new gatekeeper moved out of mine.
All right, but anyway, before we settle that, because that will be settled, don't worry. I think another thing is settled in this podcast finally.
Oh shit!
Do I even need to say it?
I forgot.
And this isn't, I swear, this isn't even me pushing it. You guys are already in an agreement without even me like saying that. Like, you think my mask is a straight up monster at this point.
Man, that nigga's a monster.
So
You don't look like that at the end of that chapter
over.
without not being a monster, you know. So
after
All right,
like 8 months,
we're gonna have to
Finally.
trawl through the records. What was the?
I don't think I'd bet anything. So.
And let's get it.
What was the deal? I can't quite remember. Was it if he is a monster, then I'm screwed?
yeah.
God damn
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Gotta get that Phoenix Man video popping, which after these redraws,
Oh
man.
my God. Don't say it.
Oh wow! So I
Oh
actually have to
no!
review
Oh my
them.
God! It's the perfect storm.
Oh my God.
Yeah, literally.
was
Literally
his
the
master
redraw
plan.
came in.
Are you kidding? He does a chapter about a My Master straight after he does a chapter about Phoenix Man. He's
like
done
you
this.
do the bet.
This
Oh,
nigga's listening
redraw,
to the
I guess.
podcast, bro. I swear to
Yeah.
God.
Okay. So I can just slide my praise for Phoenix Man into the new chapters. This is working out quite well, actually.
Yeah.
Fuck,
We're out of
bro.
bullshit.
Bro, this hurts so much. Like, all right, but let's get back to my trash, dog. Why the fuck is his face doing that, bro? He's wearing a
we had
mask,
it
right?
covered.
He was he?
Yeah. I thought we had it covered. It was like it seemed like a mask, like an actual mask.
I actually have a detailed theory video. I think he's Clayface, basically.
I think it's like
Kind of looks like him from the '90s Batman.
It's
In
just
this
like-
one panel, like he kind of looks like him.
Well, part of the reason, like, you know, he probably can like mold his face to like get rid of wrinkles and stuff, you know, because he's vain like that.
you think that's his
But-
power? Not like a
I was gonna say, do you think that's like his monster ability or his human ability?
His monster ability. I think he was probably just, you know, a really fit person that could fight.
then how is that a mask?
Because of well, for one, it's, you know, he dropped the mask as the backstory that was revealed, but also, you know, he's still technically putting on a mask, you know, a face, you know. It's just like when you put on a face and it's like, yeah, I'm fine, and inside you could be tortured for all we know.
But I'm not talking about the namesake. I'm saying like what the picture in front of us. Like he has a hole in his eye, but you're saying that it's because his power is made of clay. Like if he's connecting to Clayface, then like are you saying it's the power? Like is he himself made of clay, or like is the mask itself like made of clay and he can control clay?
Okay, this is where my mind went when I came up with this one tangent. Is like, okay, you know how like all these rich people go for those mud baths? Well, he became so damn obsessed with it to keep his youthful appearance
There it
that it
is.
eventually started absorbing into him, and then his body became clay and mud.
Oh, so you think he's old?
That's that one punch
It
Tyson.
might be older than we think. And then he's just sculpted his face into like being new celebrities, maybe over time.
like there were the celebrities that he fucked. Like he would fuck one and then like he would use like their juices and shit to like mold the face, and then like time he fucked so many different celebrities that like he was able to like mold his face into like whatever and have all kinds of different disguises. That's why he's called a sweet mask, because the pussy juices were sweet, and like he wears a mask.
Sure, we can go with
exactly.
that random idea, or we can just go with the simple one: is that maybe he's older than we think, and due to the fact that over time you get
There was so much
people
pussy
don't
juice.
care for you anymore. He would just mold himself, after he couldn't keep up his appearance anymore.
With a little bit of pussy juice.
No, he would just
No.
mold his face to look like someone new, become famous again, and then just keep
Get
doing
more
the
pussy
cycle.
juice.
How Grimm's been holding that in for so long. He's been holding that in for the last couple months, too.
Wait, there's some words you can't say on this podcast to get demonetized. It does not stop there.
So yeah, that was like the most feasible one I had in the theory video.
Wait,
Like I
so
had other things, but it was the better one.
Zhoniin, you said earlier you think he's going down kind of a Garou route, where he's kind of monsterizing naturally. Do you not think it's possible that, well, that each of his parents could have been one or the other? So his mom, monster, his dad, human. So he's probably one of the only few actual hybrids.
So his daddy fucked a monster?
That would be incredible. But now I say it's possible, of course, but it's just that the series has never explored anything like that yet.
I think that would be a really cool kind of reflection.
Dude, I agree. Hey, I think that would be an awesome future S-class hero. He's like half monster, half human inherently, not like transform like Garou. He's like Blade, like half vampire, half human.
Do you mean
And
zombie
he,
man?
also probably gains like special abilities because of it too. So, I mean, I'm saying it's unlikely because it's never been talked about, not even like mentioned or hinted at or anything. I mean, it is possible that there could be human and monster mating. I mean, look at Super S, who's not going to fuck that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, there's been more than a few female-looking monsters that you'd be like, I might hit that. Nobody knows
I was
about
for that. I was like, y'all fucking monsters.
it. Hey, if the parts
Standards.
align, if the parts align, hey, we give it a try.
But what I'm saying is that since my mask isn't like evil the way that we've seen the other monsters, he's definitely like has no empathy, but he still is a hero. He still wants to do justice and all that stuff. So maybe like Garou, maybe he's just so intent on his cause of like, I got to be the best hero. I got to be the symbol of justice. I got to do this, that it's turning into like negativity. It's like a negative explosion of emotions. And now he's becoming a monster because of his obsession with justice. Similar to how like Garou is obsessed with like, being the pretty much the alpha male among everyone, or the heroes and everything. He keeps pushing forward, but he's like monsterizing at the same time. Just saying, could be a similar thing with my mask because they're exhibiting similar symptoms. My mask super fast, super strength, after seemingly looking like a normal human. And it's already been established that like you can get superhuman strength from like lifting weights and stuff. Like it's implied that Puri and Tank Top Master went down that route. Darkshine went down his own route that is apparently different than what they did. But in my mask, he's nowhere near the musculature of them, but seemingly he's just as strong. And then here, to me, this is regeneration. Yeah, his face is cracking for sure, but I don't think it's like a mask that he can just like remove. I think this is like his body, and her tongue did pierce his eye, but he's just such a beast that like it didn't really affect him, and he just regenerated.
Stop! I can't. No,
He
bro, I
literally
can't.
hand waves it.
The rest of it was like I support it. Like I agree with it. Like we could potentially be seeing like a Mai monster fight because of his obsession with like justice. Like that could be a thing. Like seeing somebody like basically mutate because of an ideology. Dr. Genius mentioned something like that when you're obsessed with something, whether it's like physical objects or like, what was it, like Tongue Stretcher was obsessed with like licking shit or like women. He was yelling out something about women and shit like that. Like, come here, girls.
He's obsessed with licking ass.
Yeah. So like, yeah, it wouldn't be crazy for somebody to be so obsessed with justice that like They begin to mutate because of it. Sure. But his pupil. No, I can't accept that, bro. If you're telling me that
I know. I don't
yeah.
expect you to. It's okay.
Yeah, this
Well, for
picture
one,
this picture
it never hit his pupil.
I'm saying you specifically, Grimm. I don't expect you to.
Nah, bro. He's wearing
Everyone
a
else,
mask.
I think that's it.
Bro, it's probably like some fucking tech that he got from somebody. This is what
Oh,
I
it's
think.
tech. It's tech now.
Yeah, this is what I say. This is what I say. All right, so he probably has, because we're gonna do the whole namesake play, right? Let's say that it does have to do something with multiplication, right? His obsession with justice and also like the whole beauty thing of presenting himself, I can't ignore that as well. He's much more of a glamour like movie star than I would say he's obsessed with justice. The obsession with justice seems to be like on his like monstrous side, like where he when his presentation of his hero works, that's when like that obsession comes out when he's being a hero. So it does have to correlate with justice immediately. But the other side is the movie star part. So I don't think it'd be crazy to say that like a my mask has a hideous appearance similar to the Ugman or is somehow related to like maybe not Ugman's exactly, but his appearance is like grotesque, or maybe he had like the whole Escanor backstory thing where like because of his appearance he was like detested and hated and like people didn't accept him and shit like that, and now that he has his mask now that he has his mask, which may have been given to him by the association or however it came to be, because we didn't necessarily get a backstory as far as I've heard of Amai before the association's inception. He was a hero, as you mentioned, but that was after the association was made, when Saitama helped the nigga. So like I don't know if he was a movie star before that point. So it could be that as he became a hero, he also started to blow up and then became a movie star through that. Or he was already a movie star and was a hero secretly to hide his like fame from like his hero works, whatever it may be. But I think that he's wearing like that's probably some tech or some shit like that, some technology that was given to him by the association, or like it could be clay, like he's saying like his power is clay or some shit like that, and it's a clay mask on him. But like in this picture, as far as I can tell, it's trying to depict that his pupil can still move while there's a hole on like where his eye should be. So I'm simply saying that like that's clearly a mask, and she didn't penetrate deep enough to actually punch his pupil, or she like punched through him. He's clay, and like his eye on the right side isn't moving. It just got stuck like that after it got stabbed.
He's looking at in the previous shot of his face, so it's hard to say if it's like locked into place or not. Presumably not, because the other eye is looking in the same exact direction. So, yeah, there's that.
That panel of Die Monster. That's my favorite panel of all the 3-4 chapters that were released.
Oh, yay! That part.
Oh yeah, what? Die monster gay.
Yeah. Doa said gay before she died. I mean, really, it says "yeah," but
yeah, I know. But if it's like you're gay if you kill me.
This is the last thing she had to get that off before she died.
You're gay.
If you got to get off one insult before you die, you can go ahead and do your thing.
Sometimes it's hard to realize that we're a bunch of 20, almost 30-something-year-old people. That's the kind of humor we have.
It's because
Grimm said Sitch gave you a mask because you were ugly. Gay.
You ugly as fuck, bitch. Put that on.
Oh, I forgot Asami is alive. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, dude, they're both alive now.
Fucking titties, bro. She's popping her titties out, bro, just so you can hide and shit. Oh,
and they're part of Amai's fan club apparently, because they watch everything he does and stuff, and they want autographs.
And this nigga's willing to kill him, bro. This nigga was really willing to kill him.
Yeah, they got to do better. That nigga, bro. Sweet Man said, bro, his rationale for what he was about to do, he said, he was looking at the disciples. He was like, they're evil's accomplices, and he was like, so they're also evil. I was like, wait, what? Nigga, what are you talking about? He was really about to kill those niggas.
Yeah, he's having trouble with his humanity. You could definitely see him like he has the mentality of a monster, but he's trying to like rationalize as to like what a human would do.
Bro, the sequence
Yeah.
here where Bushy Drill confronts him, like it wasn't only like so badass how like all three of them were willing to confront a mind mask, like, and they weren't taking any bullshit. But when Bushy Drill was like, and then they gave him the look of silence. He's like, did you really say that just now? He's like, like, I'm not just talking shit. Like, I'm really like using narrative information this time. Like, I really think that the three disciples could fight a Maya mask. Like, that's not crazy to me anymore. This showed me clearly that, like, at least narratively, one is trying to introduce, like, power scaling aside, one's trying to introduce like more conflict and more like story threads, right? Having more connections with different characters, different people, because it makes sense that the guys who are being kept down, quote unquote, by the gatekeeper, quote unquote, might have some conflicts or some tension between them. And not only that, they're like number 2 and 3, so like eventually they want to get to his spot. So you would expect that there could be tension between them, and like we've never explored that, and it was badass to see that, but. Yeah, I'm about to take that spot, boy. You see that when he came through, boy? Oh.
Listen, man. They can have as much tension as they want. That don't mean they're gonna actually beat a nigga.
Yeah.
I may have a problem with somebody. That don't mean I'm just win.
Yeah, you know how a Mind Mask originally tore through Narinki's squad, like he like exploded them? He would do the same thing to the disciples.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Eon would have him in pieces. Eon would have him in pieces. I want to hear it, bro. Eon speed blitz bullets. Mai hasn't done that yet.
So
I survived a tonguing to the eye, dude.
So
Well, he kind of speed blitzed mind control. Because she didn't try it once. Either she figured it wouldn't work, or maybe she had been trying it the whole time and it was like, shit, it's not working. Hey, sexy, you want my time?
Not only did Amai like rush them and use like killing intent and try and kill all of them, but Eon came up behind him without Amai noticing, because we saw the little spark there where he got surprised and shit, and then outmaneuvered him, outsped him, all that. Just look at that. Because the surprise, the question mark, the exclamation mark, and he got him, bro. Like, I ain't worried about Eon when it comes to a Maya match. That's a
okay. Okay, Grimm. So what was Amai Mask supposed to do in this situation?
Kill him.
Why?
Because he was faster. If he was really faster, Eon...
So Amai Mask is going to kill the Narinki's private squad in front of V-Iron and them, even though he didn't want to.
Yes, because he was trying to kill them. Before Eon interfered, right there in this panel right here, he didn't know that they were there.
You just solved it yourself, man. You said before he appeared. And now that he has appeared, he is no longer going to kill them. That's why he goes after Super S. The whole reason why he was going to kill them is because he thought he was getting away with it. So why would he keep trying to kill them if the witnesses are there?
It's like, God damn it, you heard every word.
Yeah.
But I didn't say keep trying to kill him. I said that,
Yeah, I think
You did. You said he gonna kill him.
I think he means in the first instance. So he's trying to say Ian outpaced him at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then whatever happened after that happened.
Like Amai's action should have killed them, but Eon was fast enough to outpace him and then stop him from killing them. That shouldn't be the case. He's not going to stop Atomic. Eon is not going to run up behind Atomic and stop Atomic from killing somebody like he did like this.
Okay.
Yeah, so he got outmaneuvered, bro. Amai out here tripping. Amai out here tripping.
But would you say that it's not because he outsped him? Maybe it's because he's so focused, like he planned. He was like, right, I'm going to do this to them. This is the plan. I'm going to kill these guys. That he was just so one-track minded that he was caught off when the Iron showed up again.
He had that tunnel vision.
The tunnel vision makes sense, but here's the problem. If Eon was trying to kill Amai, what would make him like be able to react suddenly then? Like, wouldn't he also be at a disadvantage? Like, he was so tunnel visioned that he couldn't react to Eon cutting him? Like,
no, I reckon he'd be able to sense the killing intent. I think what the guys are trying to say is Amai Mask had this specific path that he was looking to take. And maybe if that path had only been focused on the two girls who Ian took out, maybe he would have got to them quicker. But because he had a specific path that he was going to go through everyone at the same damn time, Ian got to the two people that were closest faster because he was only focusing on those two. Then Bushido got the two guys. Then Okamai Itachi got the last one.
Who do you guys think is faster, Pure Ugly or E-Iron? I don't know why you have to think about this. Fear Ugly is a dragon level cadre. There is no way in hell E-Iron is even remotely close to his level of speed. And we've saw that my mask can compete with Fear Ugly despite not even fighting back.
What?
There would be no
we don't know if
contest
that's
here.
going to be
My mask
retconned.
would explode E-Iron and the other two just for being in the vicinity. I don't get what's going on here. E-Iron could barely even keep up with friggin' Melzergard. Melzergard took his friggin' arm off because he couldn't compete with dragons like that. And Melzergard was just the beginning of them.
A high dragon?
Melzergard ain't no high dragon. Anyway,
You take out 4 S class and you're not a high dragon? Come on.
he didn't take out any S class. He
said
took out E-Iron's arm.
I said
That's
take
it.
on. He took out 4 S class. Nobody else has done that.
Because he has regeneration, which was his only saving grace, and once it was exposed,
That's part of his power.
that's why he's not a high dragon.
So he has regeneration, so he's not a high dragon?
Do you think regeneration is a prerequisite for that title?
No, that skill alone puts him in the high dragon category. He's able to fight 4 S class for a long time period. Goketsu can't do that.
Yes, he could. Dude, he one-shotted Suiryu. He one-shotted Suiryu.
But
Is
he
that not proof that he would wreck any S class who's not in the top 7?
No, not at all.
Okay, dude. Well then, let's just move
Why
on.
did you
Let's
bring
not turn
this
this
up,
into
John?
a debate and waste our time here. We've got 3 other chapters to talk about. I think we should get on to them.
I'm not saying Yadia's gonna beat a Mask, but this is a feat for
You
Yadia.
said that he would kill him.
Yeah, he did say that. shit.
Probably, you're right. No, but without trolling, no, this was a feat for Yadian, at least. It was a feat for
I
him.
agree. It's definitely a feat for him.
Facts. All right, bet. As long as niggas ain't taking the feet away from him.
I don't care about it like power scaling wise. I just like it narrative wise because they had some balls to go back there and confront Sweet Mass about this shit. Cause like I think they knew what was up, but they were playing coy. Like they're like, bro, we know he was trying to take them all out, bro. We seen that shit.
Sasuke keeping it wholesome.
Sasuke no, bro. Yan was like, relax, am I?
Yeah, he said, chill, bro. You got this.
Hey, I hope E-Iron turns out to be a beast. I like him. I'm rooting for him. But right now, he is not a beast. A-class. He is an A-class beast. He's by far the strongest A-class hero, like, aside from my mask, technically being an S-class hero.
Look, bro, don't take it to heart. We know Amai's gonna be strong, but for now, he getting trolled.
Wait, what's this we know?
we know, bro. We can tell, bro. We can tell he's not using his full power yet. But
Hey,
it's no excuse to.
Hey, Grimm, I'll tell you something right now. Things might change because this whole thing that we're talking about right now with the My Mask getting shot in the eye, this doesn't happen in the webcomic.
Ooh. Okay.
So, hey, maybe a My Mask turns out to be weak in the manga's version because now that Murata seems to have control over things, what's going to stop him from just being like, well, I don't like Amai, which he has said before. So he's weak now.
Bro, no.
Oh, damn.
Don't come at me with that, bro. I'm already hurt.
I don't want to start propaganda because that's what people are going to say that I'm trying to start shit. I'm just saying that things might change, and the statement that we know a My Mask is going to be strong, it might not turn out to be true anymore. That's all I'm saying.
Just like the statement for Phoenix, man. Fuck, bro.
Oh, boom. There you go. Perfect example.
I don't know what's his obsession with Phoenix, man.
You don't know, bro? You don't know, bro? Fucking
That nigga gonna turn into a monster the way he obsessed with Phoenix, man.
Sasuke, bro. Bro, niggas think you're crazy, but I don't think it's really crazy for me to say that I think the Phoenix fight was the best fight so far, besides Boros. I would legit say that, and niggas are calling me crazy, bro. So,
I mean, I see why you say that. I don't think. I mean, it's not my favorite fight, but I see why you say that.
hell yeah, bro. Just tech after tech after. Oh, this don't work. All right, this I got that. Oh, you gonna come back to life? All right. It was everything I wanted, bro, in 3 times, but.
I have to agree. I enjoy those kinds of fights where you just have like just like you say, it's like, well, that didn't work. Shit. Well, hey, I got another one. And it's like the Batman approach. It's like I was prepared for everything.
As long as it's credible.
Iron Man when he fought Thanos. Like he just used everything on him, and eventually he just got down to like he barely had anything.
No, the final. No, I didn't. I think it's kind of off topic, but I think the nano suit kind of like ruined the whole idea, man. Legit, it ruined the whole idea, man.
So when he was like, "It's nanotech, you like it?" You would have been like, "No."
What the fuck, bro?
I don't like it.
Because before it was like, I don't know how to fucking explain it. It was like it had merit, like it wasn't just like science fiction. Like the majority of things that he was doing, besides like, I think this term like it's called like dampeners or inertial dampeners. Besides that, everything was realistic, man. Like it was so bad to see other weapons that he pull out, the little lasers, little laser caps and shit like that. He can fly around and shit. His armor's tough. He had a power source in his core and shit like that. He was diverting power, talking to a robot in his head and shit. Like it was analyzing it, bro. It was so badass.
Yeah, but
like,
dude, he's fighting an alien god. He's got to have something.
Titan.
The nigga had like 4 stones. Like hell no, man.
See, but even like just base Thanos is so much stronger than everyone else. It's funny.
See, but was it realistic though? We got this man in an iron suit or whatever. I think it's titanium at some point, or an alloy, flying at like different Mach speeds. I'm pretty sure he would have turned to soup.
Well, yeah, that's why I said like.
He had inertia stabilizers, bro.
Yeah,
okay, is that what they're for? Okay.
Yeah, the inertial dampeners or whatever. I'm pretty sure that's science fiction. That doesn't exist. But
I just love the fact that we're talking about Marvel and stuff because of what happens in the chapter or so from now in this podcast. Because I kind of called. We'll get to it. I won't.
Yeah, let's go to 99.
Yes. Heat up.
As we go there, though, I do not like fights where it's like, you've activated my trap card, my spell card. Nah, I'm not a fan of that. After I think years of reading Bleach, left me with a like PTSD for that, man. Like I do not enjoy it. I do not enjoy
didn't give you that bad taste in your mouth before.
You would hate JoJo in that game.
Oh my god,
JoJo like that.
Yo, there was a
Isn't JoJo kind of like doesn't it kind of make fun of itself?
It does everything, bro.
It's mostly just.
I never know. I never like Jonathan, like the English in JoJo. Is that supposed to be like a joke, or are they like earnestly trying to like use decoration English there? Like they're like whenever they like scream in English in JoJo, it's so funny. But I don't know if they're doing it for comedy.
Oh my god!
It's not. No. He's like
time.
It has to be for comedy, but like the characters are serious. Like
it was serious at the time because it was like cool to say stuff in English.
Yeah, like Jesse was really saying, "Oh my god!
Oh no!
Shit!
Bro, like, bro, JoJo's an icon of anime, bro. I fuck with that shit.
Definitely.
But fuck Jotaro and Josuke.
What? No, not Josuke.
No, fuck Josuke.
Nah.
We're still on part 3.
Okay, yeah, so the redesign, I guess, of Brave Giant, as we just started on there. What do you guys think?
Not as drastic as before. I like it.
Yeah, I got to see a side-by-side comparison.
His head's
I don't even
smaller.
remember him.
Are you on the live stream?
Oh, you got it. You got it like that?
We're doing it like that.
No, not live like that, but like Discord live.
Yeah. Let me look. No. Yeah, I'm saying I need like a comparison of like how the old one looked now.
Pull up your phone, nigga.
'Cause I don't have it burned into my memory.
Well, the first version looked like a Metabot, then the second version looked more like a demon.
No, it looked like fucking what it needed to be.
Endless waltz.
Oh yeah.
You know what I think is gonna happen? I'm pretty sure that Never mind, that was bullshit. But like, what I wanted to happen was that this new design was gonna be like the first version, and then like towards the end of the fight, he would end up like transforming into the one that we saw in the original, or not in the original, in the one before this, in the good version. But like, or it would be that like he'd end this part of the fight like with this version, but Phoenix Man wouldn't die to the tickle bug or whatever. Like something else would like make Child Emperor think that Phoenix Man is dead, and then he'd leave, take Waganma and leave or whatever, and then we find out that Phoenix Man still isn't dead, and then like in like 150 or like 180 something like that, when Phoenix Man comes back, then we see the good version of Brave Giant come out, and then Child Emperor takes him on. That's what I think is gonna happen right now too. That like because of the whole chicken thing, that Child Emperor is gonna end up fighting him again, and that's when we'll see the Emperor Nova. But if that's not the case, fuck Murata.
Well,
like
that's
that.
not very nice, is it?
Hey, that's the first time you've ever said that. Normally, Murata's a god. So
Grimm's tearing down his
literally
poster.
his name.
within
So,
like how long? One chapter, you've gone from worshipping this man to just thinking he's the worst.
Matt, he
Yeah, that's the internet, ain't it?
Matt, he not only nerfed the fuck out of Brave Giant in his presentation, but then he also fucked Phoenix Man in the ass, bro. Fuck Murata.
Like that episode of South Park with what's his name? The two directors, George Lucas and Steven Spielberg.
Oh, God. Why do
Grimm,
they have
did
to
you-
keep remaking everything?
Did you tweet Murata saying, Murata sensei, doste?
No,
Just give us the Snyder cut already.
when I told him to stop teasing us on Twitter, like there was like 15 or 16 like fucking like simp fanboys out there just like, leave him alone. You're a toxic fan, aren't you? Like, why don't you go fucking all kinds of bullshit, bro.
Dude,
Like,
Murata almost has 1 million followers.
Oh damn! But getting back to the design, I didn't mind it so much. I mean, I think like Satsuki, I probably need a side by side, but I'll just point out the things I noticed. Maybe they're more prominent in this drawing than the other one. Can you go back a page, please? But the little kind of samurai armorish skirt thing he's got going on, was that in the previous version as well?
yeah,
It was.
badass.
Okay, that's cool. The backpack, is that exactly the same, or is it slightly different?
No, it's a bit more slimmer design and
Yeah.
different details.
Black too.
Yeah.
Because that was
badass.
actually what tipped me off when I saw the backpack. I was like, wait,
Yeah.
it got a redesign again?
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. And the kind of blade things poking out of his shoulders, were they there before?
No, that's a different variation.
So I thought that was pretty cool. And then beneath those blade things, he has these kind of jagged, segmented pieces of armor. I thought that was pretty cool as well.
Fuck yeah. Talking about this shit?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, this is fucking raw.
So I like that in terms of it. It kind of harkened back to a few other Gundams, but I need to see it side by side, I think.
Matt, did you already go?
No, I'm looking at him and I don't know honestly if it is too different. It looks a bit slimmer, but apart from that, just because I've got an image up online, if it's just because we're seeing it from an angle we've never really seen it at before, I think there are some small changes to it, definitely, but I don't think it's anything like massive. Now that I'm looking at it again, because I didn't notice the skirt the first time, like the Spartan kind of gladiator skirt that he had before until this redraw. I don't think there's too much between them. I don't have a problem with the new design though.
Yeah, like the the backpack seems just like lifted up. I posted a picture of like the one that has a similar angle, but yeah, they're pretty much similar. Like you still have the vents on his legs and stuff. There's still 2 pairs of eyes. It just looks slimmer is all. Like in the other one was just like it was preferable. Like it wasn't bad at all. Like it was like nigga, that shit was good, bro. Like that shit was fucking great, bro. Like if anything, this version would transform, like I said, into the other version. But
So you wanted this one to go Ascended Super Saiyan, put on some bulk.
man, I wanted so much from this, bro. Like I saw a panel of fucking Phoenix Man with his hands like fucking in the Kamehameha stance or whatever, like John Emperor was, and I'm like, nigga, it has to be that Phoenix gets a fucking Nova, and he tries to challenge a Nova. That's what I thought was gonna happen, but
That was sad.
You do a beam
that
struggle.
was one of the casualties of this revision.
you guys saw that too, right? That sketch shit that he did.
Nah, I didn't.
Catch?
Nope.
Nope.
Zhoniin?
Sketch of what?
No. Your opinions about the Brave Giant.
Oh, it's fine. I like that he kept it that way. I like that Saitama says, like, what's up with that anime Gundam thing? It just, further shows that, like, he chose this design because, he was inspired by the anime, going along with, like, his equipment, like, being inner child stuff.
Yeah, and the other one, his boosters came out of the backpack. But it did
He kind of does that in this one as well. It's just not as clear because it was a smaller image. It wasn't made as a big of a focus.
Yeah, there were some transition issues in these chapters. Like things were happening in that like it didn't seem like they were directly connected, or like there was a pattern or two missing between. And like the dialogue, I don't know if it's because of the translation, but like it was hard to kind of make out what the fuck was going on in like the whole in the Phoenix space of the explanation.
Phoenix Force.
I was like, nigga, what?
This is, can we talk about this now?
Go ahead,
Yeah.
bro.
Well,
This is like one of the most important things in the series.
oh,
The Phoenix space?
The Phoenix Force. I mean, I know he calls it this Phoenix, but the Flash, it's pretty much the Phoenix Force. But anyway, the space, the sacred, whatever. This is super important because actually these redraws in general, that's what they did, or should I say that's what Murata did, I guess, with Phoenix Man here. He, now I promise you, I'm not spoiling anything when I say this, but I have to say, like, the purpose for these, and it's for the webcomic. These redraws, the revisions, that's what this is all for. Getting the manga's current continuity more comfortably aligned with the webcomic's current continuity. And they used Phoenix Man as a device to do that with like multiple storylines. And it's pretty cool. And one of them is this Phoenix space stuff that he's showing us. It's very important to the overall lore.
Let's go over exactly what was described as that, because like it just seemed like it was just genjutsu, like he's able to like go into your mind telepathically, but it seems like you're implying that like it's a realm that he can force you to go into that other people can go into. What do you?
The way that I see it is that this is like this is something that everyone can tap into if they get strong enough. Like, I don't think this isn't like exclusive to Phoenix Man. Like, all of his other abilities have pretty much been exclusive to him until a further notice, until, we see somebody else using them. But this one, I think, is something that exists out there. Like, you could tap into it if you have enough power through your mind or whatever. It's Astra level, whatever.
I was gonna say that sounds like webcomic related, but Saitama did it. So
no, I promise you, I'm not.
So is that
it's kind of like if Naruto sent in a mass invite into his Kurama space kind of thing.
Yeah, or like if the Kurama space was like public.
Yeah.
See, that's
Or if
bullshit.
everyone was an Uchiha. But before we go into that Phoenix thingy, was Brave Giant always controlled in a Pacific Rim type manner?
No, that was the beginning of the revisions for this. At the end of chapter 98, it was revised for him to have the Pacific Rim set up like a couple months ago with the last volume that was released.
Yeah, so
it kind of happened quietly because we didn't really talk about it on the podcast or anything.
it was mostly like a dark room, and he had like a visor over one of his eyes.
Yeah, I don't know. The single page when we first got it released, I think it was like a month or two back. I didn't like it at first because it's like his shirt changed too and everything. But like and he was losing the whole HUD display, like the whole the eye guard and everything too, all that. But this one wasn't like too bad. I did think I guess we'll get to it in a second, but the whole like where I guess he's like connected synaptically to whatever happens to Brave Giant, he feels it. That was kind of
That stupid fucking thing. I was like, why?
yeah, that was dumb.
Why would you do that?
It's
Don't they
obvious,
do the
like
same thing in Evangelion?
yes, I'm saying like those things like for
It's always a stupid move. We don't care who does it.
the Sairochi
No,
thing.
I think there's like a justification for it.
If he's going with a supernatural theme, like that's what that is like leading towards, that's fine. But like the only thing that connect, like there's supernatural shit going on here that like hasn't been going on through the entire series. Like Phoenix Man's Resurrections wasn't that crazy, but like the him reviving things, that was a little bit more crazier. I didn't take any like offense to it, or like I didn't think that we were going to start leading into like more like supernatural stuff, but it clashes with like the theme of the rest of One Punch. It's just like this, like there's been nothing to allude to like that there's like some like fantasy space that where like you can use your psyche and go into, like that's clear feeling stuff, and that's the same problem that happens with all these same mangas where like they don't do a good enough job of intertwining emotions and feeling and relationships and development to the characters. So they have to make metaphorical things where like you're sitting there talking to the fox as a metaphorical world, or you're taking your character out of the story and solving the problem in the psyche. Like what happened in Seven Deadly Sins? Like solve the problem there. Why are you having a fight in your mind? And there's nothing else going on in the physical body? Like I don't like that. Like you can find other ways to depict and tell stories where you're not going into some like crazy shit like that. And the only reason why it's bad here is because it doesn't correlate with what the rest of the story is showing. Like we don't get supernatural stuff all the time. It's not like that. So I'm still waiting to see what happens, but
I think what we're seeing here is like advanced hockey in One Piece. Like remember when we first saw advanced hockey in One Piece, we didn't really understand what was going on because it wasn't explained yet. But it was evident that the strongest characters in the series have access to abilities that the other characters don't. I think that's definitely what we're seeing here with Phoenix Man. He's showing us what the taste of the advanced monster powers are in this world. Because so far, they've all fit the same kind of pattern, right? Everybody has super strength, super speed, durability, regeneration. And then, of course, sometimes they have additional abilities, but those are always like the base ones for like strong dudes. They all kind of gain that.
Once it gets past the physical level.
Exactly. So once you become really powerful as a monster, then you start getting like advanced hockey. You start getting like, advanced conquerors, advanced armament and observation, like Katakuri seeing into the future. This is stuff like that. Like in the One Punch Man world, when you get strong enough, you could start going into like this dimension with people's minds and you can fight them that way. Or you could start resurrecting the dead and stuff, or you can start shooting energy and stuff like that. So I think that's what we're seeing here. And this isn't the first time we've seen it. I mean, chronologically, now that this is chapter 99 being revised, this is pretty much the first time we've seen this. But something similar has happened with Homeless Emperor in chapter 113 when he encountered the mysterious god being.
I think you mentioned that in your...
yeah, so like, and then he even bestowed Homeless Emperor with those light sphere abilities, which is, like, clearly we've seen other characters have those abilities like monsters. So it's all fitting this theme of like, this is stuff that everyone can essentially tap into. Just a theory. The game theory. I could be wrong.
That's still weird to me.
Might have to go back and look at the scenery of that when he meets God and see what it looks like.
Yeah, it's definitely connected to that. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it could be different with every, like relationship or individual that's setting it up. Because
well, I mean, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'll let you understand. It's not technically proven that God, like, was in Homeless Emperor's mind at that time. Like, he could have just appeared there. But regardless, God can hear him somehow from seemingly anywhere. So maybe he was in his mind. Maybe he wasn't. But regardless, the bestowing the powers and the weird ethereal form that he has, I think it's all tied. But go ahead, Keishan. I'm sorry.
No. The only thing I was really going to say is like, okay, we see the Phoenix space 2 times in the course of the revisions, and it's always this like scenic, field with some trees and mascot statues, which that's kind of weird and creepy on a different kind of level. I mean, if it wasn't Phoenix Man, I'd really be questioning it, but it's still like, why would he have that there in the first place, other than he was kind of a mascot himself?
This is what's making me think that it is just Phoenix Man because of those statues there. Like, those were connected to his backstory previously, so unless we're not supposed to be connecting that, I think this is supposed to be like his mental, like, if I were to picture this as like him trying to convince a child emperor to like join his side using his like mental powers or whatever, then I don't think it would be that crazy to see like remnants of like what's really going on inside of Phoenix Man's mind, like in the background like that. If I were just to connect the scenery and shit like that, because that's basically what he was doing. Like the whole child emperor questioning himself, that came separate from Phoenix Man. Like he may have like, I was just an inadvertent side effect of like of Phoenix Man's like probing and like suggestiveness and shit like that. Like I don't think his persuasiveness was very effective whatsoever. It was just Child Emperor was questioning himself because he somehow for some goddamn reason has a lack of confidence, even though it shouldn't be that way. But
children are like that.
Yeah,
his lack of confidence comes from the fact that he's a kid and he's not getting any praise. Like he's.
Exactly.
As they said, like, he's literally the one guy who's doing all the work and not getting any praise. Like, which the first time we see Child Emperor, he's like, can I go? And they're like, well, a child like you wouldn't get what's going on here with us S-Class heroes. So then he has a bit of a grudge then. And then obviously it builds up for the fact that, like, Metal Knight's not helping him. He's having to do all the work and no one's being like, well, good job, Child Emperor. That's where his, like, conflict starts to come from.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then the fact that Phoenix Man's opened up this private space, taking out the time to actually talk to the guy, that probably hit him a little bit deeper.
Nerved him.
Yeah, and I think it's completely plausible that this is a space which is private to Phoenix Man and maybe nothing to do with Child Emperor. Because then when Saitama walks in, it kind of gave me the vibe of Phoenix Man either being unable to explain what his suit was telling him, because was it his suit that was explaining to him how this actually worked? And he gave a really shitty explanation.
More or less.
Yeah, it was weird. He was like, this works, kind of. Like, just accept it.
Well, he brings in shamanism into it. And I'm thinking, it's like, that has, like, little to nothing going on there that should connect. Because shamans, like, okay, any of you read and watched Shaman King, like, they summon spirits and inhabit their body to gain that spirit's, like, abilities and stuff. Okay, I could believe that on Phoenix Man, like, that would explain why he turns into a different bird every time that he comes back. And then, with his form change that he has now and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, that would work there, but, like, this whole, like, private mental space thing, that's not as much that I'm aware of with shamanism.
Yeah.
So it's weird.
I think it's completely plausible that he set up this space, or he created it in the moment, just for the sole purpose of trying to, as he says, scout Child Emperor and to convert him into his fellow costume monster. Even though the space, he makes it sound like it's just you and me. We're both costume monsters. Let's be buddies. But when Saitama walks in, it kind of told me it's not really just for costume monsters, and you were just trying to get him on your side, trying to kind of break down his psyche.
Brings up the question. He seems to be completely able to do this with no problem. So has he done this before?
Well, that's the thing, is that he hasn't, because this is literally the first time he's ever been in this form. And it's too bad that they took this little portion of dialogue out of the revision. But remember, he says when he's in his Brilliant Eagle form, it's like, the suit tells me my abilities. Yep. They took that out. They should have kept that portion in.
Yes, this is supposed to be This is supposed to be what the suit is. The suit was supposed to show up in his psyche and be the one that's talking to Child Emperor right now. That's what would make sense in terms of revisions and adding into it. Where like the voice that we're hearing, the voice that told him that you can do this to revive the people, is also what's trying to convince Child Emperor. That should have been the addition given to Phoenix Man, that the voice or the thing or the suit itself can not only talk to you, but it can talk to your opponents and people outside of you. That's what it should have happened. But that's why I mentioned that it seems like things are missing or information is missing or whatever it is. It's just rushed and like. I'm not sure if it's going to be the final portion because whenever he brought back the subterraneans too, like all that was loosely connected. Like in the previous redraw, all that stuff was like so nicely assumed. Like they fell down onto the subterraneans. We saw the corpses there. We looked at them for a second. It was fine. Then he explained what he was doing, and then he did it. And then oh shit! Remember the subterraneans that are dead right there? Of course they would lift back up. Who else died over here? Oh, the ninjas. That makes sense. We saw that too. So things were already in progress. Things already worked. So it's not like they can't go back and fix that. That's what we're expecting. But if this is what's going to be in the final version, I have like serious problems because this doesn't. I already said why. Like this seems too supernatural to me.
Revision really builds up on if you've read the other versions.
Yeah, but I'm like I said, bro. We've had faith this entire time. It's not like they don't have. If anybody can fix a story, it's one. Literally. All the stories we talk about that we read, that we see all the time, all the mangas that we see all the time, shit like that, they use those old tropes and strategies. This man plays with them for fun. He uses all kinds of tricks, schemes, plans, narrative ploys to get all kinds of messages across. That's why this seems so forced. This seems forced development to me for Child Emperor. That's what it seems like.
No, you're very justified to think that because this isn't one. This is Murata.
But yeah, well.
Oh wait, hold on. I'm sorry, Keisha. Well, because like as soon as you showed that panel, roughly all of the S-class heroes look way more evil than I am. Look who's right there.
Killer machines, assassin, prisoner escaping, inexplicable.
So does that confirm that Child Emperor doesn't actually know Metal Knight is a human who uses robot bodies?
No, he knows. He was his assistant.
Yeah.
He's talked to Beaufoy before.
Yeah, this is the connections and shit that we have to make because wasn't not only did we get the robots at the end of the Zombie Man chapter, but wasn't there something else that was said here? Or wasn't there some other connection made in the revisions to Metal Knight before that?
I don't think so. No, we saw the Metal Knight head on the robot that Zombie Man beat.
Yeah,
which looks like kind of like Jason in a way.
Jason and Satchel, the first.
It was the Genos thing. That's what it was. He made a comment about Genos because he saw Saitama, and that was the correlation, the suspicion between who he thinks is the actual traitor. Oh. Yeah, because Child Emperor was the one pushing the whole traitor narrative hard too. Yeah,
Child Emperor kind of came up with that on his own though, which is kind of funny. Like he was just thinking, and he was like, "Wait a second, Genos fucking suspicious."
This kind of came out of nowhere.
We got to talk about that racist panel, man. Roughly all the S-class heroes look way more evil than I am. He came to explain Metal Knight. Okay, robot made sense. Flashy Flash Assassin made sense. Pure Prisoner, Escapee made sense. But then you just got Dark Shot and it just says inexplicable. What? Nah, explain that shit, cuz.
For both him and Tank Top Master.
I know, but still, explain that shit, cuz. Nah. In this climate, explain that.
It's like, well, I mean, just look at this guy. He's inexplicably evil.
Yeah, what the fuck? What the fuck going on, Murata?
Them titties too round.
Honestly, I don't even think Tank Top Master is included in the inexplicable. He's just there to say you can do anything and everything with a tank top on. That's it.
No, but that's like
because it's true. That's why. Like, damn, that nigga's right.
That was they could have made that so much better. I know it's all in his head, but I hope if that were to happen, it would look cooler than that.
And of course, if it was Murata actually trying, it would look dope. It'd probably be one of the coolest looking monsters.
Phoenix is supposed to be that.
He was.
I mean, Phoenix still is one of the coolest
pretty
monsters.
good.
No, yeah, he still is, but he's definitely dropped a few ranks.
Bro, when we first saw
No.
Prominence, bro, like
Not a
I
chance.
think Thrilling Eagle was really the deal maker on him.
Yeah,
We
that
got
look,
them.
it was
Guys.
Prominence for me. No, it was Prominence, but I don't like the new Prominence. Like this one right here. This is
Yeah, I don't like it either. I like the
He's
original one.
Flaming Hulk.
like this face.
Like
This looks bad.
Venom. He's like Venom and Buff Chicken.
Arise, chicken. Arise. It's
I really
I'm
the panel
summoning the mega
of,
chicken.
what's it, Prominence, when he takes like the fighting stance in this chapter as well. That's
Oh
really
my-
good.
Bro, that shit was so.
Yeah, that's a good panel.
Hell yeah, bro. He told him, yeah.
Oh,
He looks like a demon to me in that.
Like this one right here in the corner where he's like coming in for the landing and shit like that too, and you see his abs out like, oh my god, he looks so raw, bro. Like this, that's what I'm saying. Like he's added elements of goddery, bro. Like it's you're right, bro. I can't question his godship, and then also praise him. Like so, he just made one or two little mistakes. You know, some things turned out bad when they should have been good, but this is.
He
Bruh.
looks like Charizard, man.
This nigga looks, bro.
Like I said, he looks less like a bird. Like if you showed this to just about anybody that has no, context whatsoever to One Punch, they probably wouldn't be like, okay, who do you think this guy is? What is he? It's like,
He a dragon.
is he a dragon?
Well, I mean, technically,
You're
they're not
correct,
wrong.
yeah. Thank you, Zoe, for agreeing.
But it's like I would not think that was bird related at all. Like
I mean,
the claw.
No, it's not. He looks like a pterodactyl or Charizard man, or a demon.
I think I like the like I said before that when he was slender in the prominence mode, I like the fact that he was having such great strength feats and still small. Like that's always badass when you have like skinny or like regular size, cool fit looking characters that have like crazy strength feats. Like in Bleach, we
Yeah,
never
the
see like
muscles are meaningless.
exactly, bruh. Like in Bleach, we'll have
Yes,
like
sir.
the captains out there like blocking big ass giants with a single blade one handed effortlessly. Like that's that real nigga shit. Bro. You got niggas out there. What was it like? Oh,
You got a Zumi Curtis from Fullmetal Alchemist in her flip flops,
Yes.
contending with sloth and shit.
Oh my god, where she just shoulder throws Sloth is like the greatest.
And guys, come on, Luffy.
Who?
We can't say the same thing about Luffy now.
Luffy's the one who does this the most. This is like his iconic shit.
the Dolphy foot stop and all that.
That
shit.
come on, that was super impressive. The angle that, like, think about that. Daffy was on top of like the top of his foot, pushing down, and Luffy had one foot raised, pushing up. Like, think about doing that in real life. It's almost impossible.
He's got that mad hip flexor strength, the opposite.
The Conqueror's Hug forced him to do it.
Mm-hmm. It's the exact opposite of Darkshine, who has mad glute strength.
Prove it.
Maybe one day.
No, but he had like, bro, up until this point, like right up in here to this point in the chapter was so badass. Like the mind space thing was acceptable, and then you get here to this new badass form. He like gets a speed feat with the whole like disappearing act, and then starts blitzing them from the sides and shit like that. Like he actually like punches him and sends Brave Giant flying. I think in the earlier or in the upcoming panel, like the whole jump rope thing was badass. Like he had some nice things in there, but like.
I wonder how they're going to do that in the anime.
I hope they
With
don't.
the jump rope.
Yeah.
It might be like a first person perspective or something.
What's sad is I was going to give him like child a jump rope like piece of tech, and then this happens, and I was like, well, I guess that idea is basically dead.
Damn, yeah, I know. Kishin should have got to it first. Fuck Murata.
I've come up with so many fucking weird ass things.
This
It's like
nigga.
a jump rope. I've been sitting on the concept, which I could do a different kind of thing, but it just doesn't feel as right.
That's what she said.
Wow. Quality.
I feel like the transitions into different Phoenix Man forms this time around was a little bit off as well. Like when he transforms into his, what's this mode called? It's something like something.
Falcon.
Falcon mode, yeah.
Yeah, so
Fire
the Falcon mode. it just kind of pops up out of nowhere, like he's in prominence mode and then straight into Fire Falcon mode. And I was like, I feel like it was better the first time around.
Do you think that's just because curious? Do you think that's because we didn't know about those forms before, as well as this time we know about them?
No, because we could have expected different and new forms like we did.
Which we did.
Yeah, and we also got the new version of the prominence form, which like we didn't like complain about. So I don't think it's just because like we have a previous opinion about it. I think like genuinely, I think some of our complaints are genuine, which is why I'm hoping that like if there actually is some schism or some like conflict between like the final result of what came out, which there probably isn't, for us to get a release version like this. But I don't know. It's hard to like really talk about what the odds of like releases for One Punch Man is, because I haven't read a manga before where we get so many redraws and revisions, and like there was nothing wrong. Yeah, there was nothing wrong with the previous Phoenix fight. There probably wasn't even something wrong with the first Phoenix fight, but like they all got improved upon. So I don't even know what's really like eligible to be improved upon, or like what's supposed to be connected to the webcomic, how it's supposed to lead together. Like
you won't know for years.
I'm okay
It's
with that.
No, I'm saying that's good because it means that the manga, at this point in time at least, has some serious longevity to it.
Yeah, facts. And it's pretty popular everywhere it is. Exceptional art.
You think it'll eventually surpass One Piece?
Maybe, man. I'm honestly maybe. Or it might reach the 20-year point because it's already 8 years into its manga circulation at this point.
At least a 5-year kind of out from here, huh?
No, I would say like at least another 10.
Oh.
The webcomic, if I'm being like liberal, is maybe 50% way through the story. By my estimation, I could be wrong. Maybe it's at like 80% right now, but it doesn't seem that way.
And with the way that the manga adds new stuff, so
exactly, it's like
tangents there too.
As long as Murata and One, as long as they're like comfortable and they want to keep doing this, they can just keep doing this. Like, I mean, it's not too unrealistic, right? Because there's series like this that still exist to this day that have been around for like, I don't know what, over 20 years now. JoJo, Berserk,
Man,
Guyver.
Well, actually, JoJo's been around for
Ippo,
30-something.
Conan.
The
red-haired woman, or the woman with the red thing.
The woman with the red thing.
With the red coat. Is the I think it's like Carmen Sandiego or Detective something, or
the anime.
It's a woman wearing red. Like that's like
you're thinking of Carmen Sandiego. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Yeah, that's not a manga.
No,
that was a show on Nickelodeon.
No, I know that, but like there wasn't. I swear I've seen a manga of that. There's not a manga for Carmen Sandiego.
I mean, maybe after the fact.
Yeah, but her popularity kind of tanked. Like they did like a revival, I think, like a year or two ago, and I don't know how well it's doing.
I think because nobody gave a shit. They kind of like forced that curiosity on you. Where's Carmen Sandiego? It's like, wait, why am I supposed to care about this?
Because you're learning.
I mean, I wouldn't say that completely. Like, it was around. I remember that around the time of Inspector Gadget, and Inspector Gadget was kind of like okay. It wasn't the most interesting thing, but like
actually, Inspector Gadget was years prior.
That's when I saw it. Yeah, that's when I affiliate.
I was a big Inspector Gadget fan, so
this is trash.
No, because he's exactly what he needs to be.
What I was saying is that the manga is probably going to stick around for like a while. Like we have a very long time to go before it reaches the end of the story, unless they just decide to end it abruptly for some reason, which is always possible. But until then, I would say don't worry about the ending. And I guess that brings us to the giant fish strike, which is still canon.
I don't want to talk about this.
All right, then we can go to chapter 100.
Let's do that. Yeah.
But yeah, another issue I had with the synaptic kind of coupling between Child Emperor and Brave Giant was I think Phoenix Man
I like
in his
that.
prominence form.
Synaptic coupling.
Yeah.
Wait, is that from Inception?
No, is it? I've not watched it in a long time.
No, that's real. That's in whatchamacallit? What's that shit that Musk is doing? Neuralink. Yeah, I think it's use it for that.
You hanging out with Musk?
No.
I can't say. I can't say whether I have or whether I haven't. But yeah. So
Nicolas Cage.
Hey, but when he goes into his prominence Phoenix mode after Child Emperor punches down on him, or is that in the next chapter? I've forgotten which one it was, but
No, we're not allowed to talk about that.
He mentions. Does he mention the temperature that he hits? Something like 10,000 or 1,000.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's BS because I think that's hotter than the sun.
he's No. He's finally reached the temperature of Mag. What that Pokemon? Cargo. Mag Cargo. He has the same temperature as that.
Yeah, so he's pretty much double the temperature of the surface of the sun, I think, at this point. But what got me was that I didn't understand why we needed, and like Grimm was saying earlier, why we needed this synaptic coupling, because I understand Child Emperor's in pain here, but if the pain's being inhibited, which it no doubt has to be because he's touching double the surface of the sun at the moment, his hand shouldn't even be there. He should be pretty dead at this point.
No,
but
yeah, obviously, but
from
like
the mental breakdown alone.
Yeah, like
all
his mind should just be exploding. His brain should be leaking out of his nose because of that temperature and that feeling.
But
so if he's not feeling that exact temperature, then what's the point in having them coupled like that? I don't see the
for pain, for more, bro. That's what I'm telling you. Like, this was all a ploy to add more emotional involvement to the fight. He didn't get enough "quote unquote" development as a character in that fight, apparently. Which fine, because it was like a straight run through of power and fighting. But like we saw, like I personally, what I took from Child Emperor's a fight through with Phoenix Man in the first redraw was that he's tenacious and he's willing to push through all those issues. There isn't really something that he can't like get across, but. There wasn't like a huge plot line the entire time. Like I guess you could even say the same thing for Black Sperm. Like people keep talking about, oh, you're looking down on me. That really hasn't been apparent the entire time. Like it was really only apparent when they first had the conversation where Atomic was talking shit to Black Sperm and like, oh, you're looking down on me. But besides that, it hasn't really been like a whole competition of like arrogance and anything like that. They're just fighting. So like, if we're to say that like Child Emperor needed more development, then doesn't that also put other things in question too? Like, I would think that now other chapters are now eligible to get redrawn if Murata and one's goal is just to involve more development-based things into like these plots. But that's, to answer your question, that's how I see it. That was just to add development or some emotion into it.
Yeah, it like raises the stakes and it makes it more balanced because before there was really no consequences for what Child Emperor was doing. You know, he's like, I'm in a big robot, do whatever you want. I don't feel it. But now it like raises the stakes for the audience and it also gives him adversity. So I mean, it works for me.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think in that regard, it was a better read just from a perspective of Child Emperor having that adversity. But I felt like the adversity for him the first and maybe even the second time round, but actually especially the second time round, was the fear and the time element that he had with Brave Giant. So he had this fear of, oh shit, he's actually breaking through elements of my Brave Giant. This is meant to be my masterpiece, even though it's a prototype. And then he was constantly looking at the time as well. So I felt like that gave him that element of adversity that we're given kind of double trouble here that we didn't really need too much more of.
Agreed. I do think the adversity man coming back every single time was enough. And it's not like there wasn't like peril. Like I felt like there was peril the entire time. There was some things like in terms of like maybe like this is like straight power scaling wise. This is my own opinion, so nobody has to really take this into account. But in the previous redraw, power scaling wise, I could have like seen Phoenix Man becoming stronger through like combat hand to hand wise. Like maybe his punches, like we actually see him punching and like throwing Brave Giant around, not just him flying and using his claws or throwing like his feathers, his homing feathers, stuff like that. But like actually seeing him like block a punch maybe or like fly around, maybe deflect the punch, seeing some more hand to hand combat stuff because that would really like accentuate like his battle prowess. But in this variant, I felt like less fighting happened, like a lot less fighting happened.
Yeah, yeah, I feel that.
This fight made me appreciate Gums versus it made me appreciate Gums versus Pig God a lot more. Just because them niggas said no talking, we just made. We need that.
That'd be hilarious if they went into each other's minds and they had like a a moment.
That would be nah. Nah. I just need that. I just needed a meathead shit. Just fade, please.
Yeah, I wanted to see more of it.
I didn't like the whole spiritual world thing. I didn't really care for all of that. And I think it's just because what we seen before. What like the fact that maybe like if this happened, if this was our initial introduction to this fight and it played out the way it did the first time, like we got the redraws first, maybe I would feel different. But because we know how this fight played out and we got to see the fight in its totality, the whole spiritual thing turned me off. Like I get what it does for Child Emperor's character, but I don't think it was all that necessary. But like what Shonen was saying with the whole, this kind of sets up for future events in the webcomic or whatnot. Yeah, that's a thing, but I'm just saying like in a vacuum for this fight, I just didn't really care for it.
Yeah.
We have that panel on the top right there where I think Brave Giant smashes into the water. So Grimm must be jizzing right now because the inertia didn't stop and he went straight through the ground.
Yeah, there's people like just like in the previous I don't think that feat changed. In the previous fight, people were saying that the giant fish strike was only like 15 floors. It wasn't. Like the panels that you saw were that the big widespread was only the beginning of like the actual like downward pool, and then at the bottom you see like his boosters. That white stuff is his boosters, not like the opening. And then the next page you see him still pushing through. You see them still rushing downward, and it's a whole other page before they actually come out and they're falling. So like, sure, this is maybe even more so because they fell through the bottom of the lake too. But this is kind of weird. So now are we to assume that like, I don't know. I was gonna question like the structure of the association now, but there's a whole lake in that bitch. But I don't know, man. This is like,
yeah. You ever play Minecraft?
There's some weird shit you can find in Minecraft.
I did fuck with the architecture though. Once they got into that other place though,
I thought it was like an underwater dam when I saw it for the
Yeah, I
first.
was like, what's the purpose of this architecture? Why does it look like this?
Like that one archway that's on the slope. Like that is the weirdest thing ever.
I mean, it looks cool, but why?
But I'm like, why? How is that there? But then there's like these stairways. But then what the fuck is that supposed to be for? It doesn't make any sense. But maybe that's the point. It's so like worn down and everything that like it's lost its purpose.
Oh, that's interesting. That could be it.
But and plus, God knows how many other than the subterraneans have been living down here. So there's probably multiple cultures that have tried to build on top of each other, and this is the stuff you get.
probably. It looks badass regardless.
Not to take away from that, no. I just like you start questioning what is it for. And then comes the fun new form. I loved it.
It looks so funny.
It's amazing.
He's so powerful.
I was surprised that he could fly.
Like, is he still a dragon?
Absolutely. At least.
Dude's got
What
a
other
bow tie
dragon's
on.
done this?
I mean, hey, like the prominence form barely held back Brave Giant. The penguin form smashed Brave Giant.
They have a beam clash. What the hell? Like, they have a beam clash, but then they don't talk about it.
Bro, they don't like. This is what I'm like. There's nothing alluding to any of like. There's
I
transitions.
think it might be for the comedic effect, maybe. I don't know.
Exactly. Like if you look at it like this, then he's matching the Millennium Emperor Nova.
Stop.
Yeah.
And that was one of the casualties, is that it's not even named.
Right. I thought that was major disrespect that he had the whole Kamehameha kind of pose,
I mean,
but it wasn't the Millennium Emperor Nova. It was something
It's
else.
just a Nova.
Yeah, I was like,
it's just the Nova.
I mean, it's badass. Like that confirms that like he can do it at less than 100%. Like it's not Nova, but it's the like that. But like, I don't want to comment on the rest of this. You guys go ahead.
I find it a little odd, looking back on it now, didn't think about it during my reaction, but like, why did he bring Waganma into himself if he was about to do a damn beam clash? He was probably a little safer further away. I mean, maybe he didn't know at the time that he's about to, have to block an equally powerful shot, But if that had pierced through his body, Waganma's fucking gone.
I just seen a message on YouTube saying that I think one is responsible for this, not Murata.
YouTube.
What the
What are you
beam
talking about?
clash?
No. Somebody's telling me that one tweeted about it today that they were by him, but Murata also tweeted one was being humble and how he and one had talked about the revisions beforehand.
Well, it might have been Murata's idea, but obviously one's got to give the okay on it.
Yeah, this is strange because also, we're between a wall of translations.
For 100%, bro. And this is somebody.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm saying this is just a random person on the channel. Like it's not anyone with authority. So
No, but I did read that tweet from one, and I really didn't know what to make of it. And I'm like, so like, what's going on? Are they both like trying to defend each other, or are they even getting blowback from the Japanese fandom? Well, not like bad blowback, but like, are they getting like some tweets that are like, I don't like this? So it's like, I don't know, maybe because I've never seen them do this before. I've never seen them like justify things like this. They usually just do things, and then if there is a problem, Murata is like super self-critical of himself. Like, oh, I need to do better, or I suck, or something. You know how Murata is.
I've seen him do that more than once, yeah.
But I've never seen one come in and like justify things like this. So like, I don't know what the truth is now at this point. Maybe it's both of them. Who knows? But obviously something is not normal.
Something is afoot.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Here, I don't want to read the entire conversation, but the first reply says it's actually Murata this time, as said by one, though both have talked about the revision. And I guess somebody else was just questioning. Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They questioned the fact that they were always both have input, but then they also say he does, but he sent out a tweet that these rewrites are by Murata. Also, sometimes Murata changes stuff from storyboards. For example, Genos and Bang were supposed to. Okay, good. I thought that was a spoiler there. I had to stop for a second. All right.
I know. I sometimes hate reading comments on my videos because I've been spoiled before.
The only saving grace is like just like once you see like something that could allude to it, or like, oh, is that leading to an upcoming spoiler? Fuck it, damn. It's so hard to catch it sometimes.
I'm really surprised you guys haven't been spoiled more often. Like, you guys are walking through minefields every day of your life.
This is once for me.
I don't really get as many comments as other people, so it's like I think people just don't care enough.
But like, don't you read comment sections?
I do, but like I'll try to, if it looks like it's kind of spoilery, I'll I'll avoid it. But like for the most part, people have been pretty nice. I think I've only had one spoilage so far, and that was the Garou's like rib cracking. The guy was very blatant about it, and people were like, "You piece of garbage, do that." So I was happy that people defended me because I was like, "Please don't do that anymore." And he said he would, and I'm scared.
No, yeah, the mods help a lot with that, but I think the worst part of it is like Google searching for like thumbnails or for like pictures to make.
Oh
video.
yeah,
Yeah.
Wait, you guys may even have ran into like some like webcomic stuff that you guys might have thought was fan art.
That happened one time. Somebody told me that, and they're like, yeah, they didn't identify what the picture was, so I left it in the video. I still don't know what it is, but like, yeah, they told me I did that before.
Because it just looks like fan art.
Yeah.
yeah. I think I've probably seen some things, but like out of context, I just keep scrolling.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that's not what I'm looking for. So
forget about it anyways and shit, or like, yeah.
That's what I like about my forgetfulness is that I usually forget about it. It's the one useful aspect of it.
But anyway, just finishing off this penguin mode stuff. I think another reason why this happened was to like kind of redeem Phoenix Man, because obviously he's alive. Pretty sure the chick ain't dead. They would have showed it, so he like scampered away. So I think that means for sure he's gonna
get kicked by Saitama.
He got what?
Saitama like kind of brushes him away. I don't think he died.
Watched him. I was gonna be like, what? I missed that.
No,
but,
it's like right after Wagama like tries to step on him and everything, and then shit, what is it?
But I was gonna say I remember Hellfire and Gale kicking him.
No, it was Saitama.
It's after that?
Let's see. Well,
because there was a part where Gamma tries to stomp him.
Well, that was the first time you thought, "Oh God, is he going to be killed this way?"
Yeah, like look on page 22 of 100 Part 2. The top right panel, you see Gale kick Phoenix Chick Man. He kind of like boots him to the side.
No, that's Saitama.
No, look at his leg. It's all bloody and stuff. And he has the sash around his waist.
Oh, okay. I thought that was Saitama.
I was gonna say, if Saitama's bleeding, then we need to go back and.
No, I just didn't pick up on that.
I thought that was
all good, man. We all do
that
that from time to time. It's difficult to make out things sometimes.
I guess I just only registered the kick, and then I was like, "Oh well, okay. Well, we see Wagama, Saitama was nearby, and it's like, he's like, forget this chick, and just kicks off to the side, but not enough to kill it."
So either he's going to be a part of the future revisions for like that he's going to do with these up, and then we're going to see like his journey. Maybe he's going to have some kind of like Captain Ginyu and the Frog on Namek journey or something. Or he's going to pop out of the rubble any chapter now, with Tatsumaki pulling the stuff out.
I do have a video idea about all that, but
he's going to end up as someone's pet, isn't he?
I mean, it's possible because it's like anything can happen at this point.
Could you imagine like Metal Bat finding him giving it to Zenko?
Oh,
and then like Zenko's just got like a
giant.
I'm thinking based on something that happens in this chapter, it would be Child Emperor more than anybody.
And I'm thinking, well, I mean, he knows what it is. Why would he keep him around? It has to be like somebody unknowingly taking him in and harboring this creature that can become disaster level god. And also, I'm thinking that goes back into Brilliant Eagle. I don't think we've seen the end of him. I think he is going to come back. Yeah. And like once Phoenix Man gets the mojo back, then he's going to go into Brilliant Eagle. But then he might even be stronger than his original version.
But this is like the whole chicken and the egg thing. I don't think he's going to get to that. Like in they do a really good job of it with in One Piece with what's his face?
Baron Tamago.
Yeah, where it's like the whole
egg.
Yeah, the egg turns to the chicken.
What a weird fruit.
Yeah, I think that's what they're
but-
trying to go with here. The fact that like the revisions may have also been about nerfing Phoenix Man to an extent because let's face it, like what I was saying, what I was claiming before was 100% right. Like Phoenix Man can indeed become a god level threat. If you don't have the intelligence of Child Emperor, you're not like beating Phoenix Man in less time than him. Like I didn't believe that. I told niggas that. I think that was the case, and I think that this is evidence that was the case. To make it to where like once you kill him a certain amount of times, he'll revert back to this beginning state. That's what I think the whole chicken part is.
I'm not so sure. Because it's the way that it was, showcased. Like he realized something was wrong, so it wasn't, just I don't think that's the case. But man,
And also the thing is that he never died again in this version. He still only has a single resurrection. Like the giant fish strike didn't kill him this time. It just made him revert into penguin mode. And then when he goes into the monster chick man, it's like him overloading from the laughing.
It doesn't make sense to me, bro. Like
I agree, it's odd, but gotta go with it now.
Because if he was going to die again this time around, it would have been asphyxiation, right? So
Yeah,
he should have like choked himself out and just not been
that
able
would
to
have been
breathe.
gruesome. You just see him like just suffocate, and they show it panel by panel. They're just watching him. Wagon was just terrified.
And I'm not
which
gonna
would
lie,
be
I didn't
very
like
bad
that.
timing given recent events. Oh,
Oh,
I-
God.
But I didn't like the tickle bug the first time around.
Me neither.
funny little
We got a
thing that
tickle
I didn't
bug.
notice.
entire
Is
2 chapters of revisions, and we keep the tickle bug, bro.
We got
Fuck,
tickle
dude.
bug Mark
Actually,
3,
it's not
dude.
even the same tickle bug. It's tickle bug number 3 instead of 1, because it's the 3rd revision.
Yeah. Nice.
Like,
missed that. I saw people talking about it. I was like, oh god, I didn't even say that.
it's cool that he trolls, but like sometimes you go too far. Some fucking times you go too far. God damn it, bro.
Also, what do you guys think about the new disaster level?
Below.
Below
I'm
wolf.
never relating to a monster more.
Yeah,
I
that's me.
think you said you had been speculating that it was going to be called Dog.
Because of what G5 says a couple chapters back, like when he's fighting underdog Cerberus for the first time. Like in one of the translations, it was like, what is this, dog level?
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, is that what underneath wolf is?
I mean, it would make sense.
I was just, I mean, in theory, there has to be something below wolf because a wolf is a pretty powerful thing. Like in
Yeah,
our
it can
reality, a
kill a
wolf will fucking kill anyone.
Dude, it's
Yeah,
a
so
chicken.
Is this not weird? Like the fact that who somebody's messing up or reverse engineering or engineering Drive Night variants or whatever, and then Child Emperor says, "That's amazing, underdog man. Where did you get that power from?" That's not weird.
That is Saitama.
Yeah, Saitama's the one jumping.
Oh, that was a confusion. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That would have been bad. No, I like where you were going though. Like, okay, now we're supposed to be suspicious of underdog man. That would have been cool.
No.
Turns
Until
out
some point,
there's a man under the dog
He's all
wearing a costume.
It's big God. So
No, but that would those are 2 things that are good revisions. Add those fucking bots. Okay, bet I fuck with that. Add fucking Watchdog Man's fucking evil and shit when he comes back. All right, I fuck with that. Fine, but fuck, bro.
My man,
Boy, let's not ruin him.
my
Before-
man was in a dog suit.
Actually,
yeah, before
which one of it? I mean, they're all identical, I suppose. So I guess it doesn't matter. But it's number 24. What numbers was it for the 3 that became Cerberus?
Wasn't it 1, 2, 3?
No,
I don't remember.
I think
I
it was
didn't look.
23, 24, maybe 25, or it was in. They were all in the 20s, I believe.
it's like 24, 25, 26.
I don't know why he came back. G5 ain't dead, bitch. That nigga should have died over there. The rest of them.
I know. I guess G5 just wrecked him enough to where the one escaped.
No, he said, "Go back and tell your master."
Well, actually, that's kind of how I see it playing out. It's like, okay, they realized they couldn't deal with him. You know, he was just too powerful. So then they split back into three. The two hold him off while the one escapes to go save Child, or at least to try and warn him or something. You know.
I hope that's what happened.
It
I love
was
the dog just played dead, which is what he probably.
All right, so here's
it
something
blows
strange.
up and reassembles like Goddard.
The robots have 23, 24, and 25, and the one in the middle is 24. So I think
That's
it
the one
might
that came
be
back.
the original one. He's the one on top of the pyramid, so he must be the alpha.
damn. Zhoniin out here just choosing niggas.
Oh yeah, actually, this is the chapter where he says it. You dare compare me to this dog level artificial intelligence?
Oh, you know what the underdog interaction did? Because I'm just looking at the panel right now. Because Child Emperor is hugging underdog, and then Saitama's thinking to himself, "What a good dog." I think this is confirming that he is going to have Rover as a pet later on.
Oh shit!
Because it's
Yeah,
like he's
that definitely made me think of that. Like that when that we get to that part, and if that gets retconned, that was just like you said.
Better make a video about that shit.
because he's just thinking about it, and then he's going to meet Rover later, presumably, if shit doesn't get changed. So
No, dude, like, you're absolutely right. Look at it. Like, why is he like sincerely? What a good dog.
yeah, Rover's he's the only one that can really like tame. I mean, I guess no. Let's say he's the only individual who can really tame Rover.
Wow, I didn't even pick up on that myself. Good job.
You'd probably also actually treat him like a dog in comparison to a roach. You just use him as an attack dog.
Yeah.
What would happen if
you guard the apartment that you cannot fit in?
I would like it to be revealed that Orochi like really cared for the cadres. Like he was like super supportful for them, and he helped them and nurtured them and stuff.
Orochi's a tsundere.
Just sends him to the Orochi space, and then he has these one-on-one conversations with them. You know, sits them down on the field, and then
I co-signed on
you
that
guys could do
car
anything.
loan.
He was concerned about Koketsu. He was like, "Wait a
That's his
second, where's my boy Koketsu at? Why ain't Koketsu
Oh,
here?
shucks. Not
Wait, he's
Koketsu.
dead? No,
Oh, punchy boy, he's gone.
I can't lie. That would have made him a lot more interesting.
We got a
I kind of like villains like that.
we got a guy in Discord who for the past like 2 weeks has been pushing that Goketsu. Was
Yes, I've been
stronger.
saying that the last couple days.
Yeah. Goketsu is as strong as Orochi.
I've been seeing that debate. Like I popped in and I seen that debate and I got right the fuck out.
why is Koketsu so polarizing?"
I don't know. I guess because he wasn't in the series as long or something for being a dragon.
He's just he has some of the best feats, and they're just so easy to analyze. But anyway, Orochi, speaking of Orochi, what do you guys think of this new ending? Orochi's dragons prematurely meeting Saitama about 8 chapters too soon? 6 chapters too soon?
I liked it.
It makes shit. It just makes the whole Saitama dynamic makes everything weird in this chapter for me.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's like he's big brothering him.
No, bro, that didn't fit it. Well, go ahead, Suzuki, bro. I've done enough complaining, bro.
It's not necessarily. It's more than an Orochi stuff, so I won't really dwell on it. It's just that the fight itself, it was just weird that Saitama has so much involvement in this. But it makes the Orochi thing a lot more weird too. Because like now I don't know how they do the whole introduction of him climbing up and that
Yeah,
whole panel.
I guess that's going to be a part of the retcons too. Or they just straight up just change the dialogue. It's like, I remember you. As opposed to just him guessing that Saitama is powerful. He now has, a preconceived notion of him because he's actually encountered him.
You blew up a few dragon heads. You must
But
be
still, at the same
strong.
time, I don't know how that benefits the original interaction. Or maybe he just gets Orochi prepared for it or something. Instead of going in blindly like he did before.
I have no clue.
I know. I don't know. I don't understand.
It still works with the whole like Saitama looking for what the sound was narrative. That still matches. Cause he was like the entire time I think even during the Rover situation, he was like, I think he was talking about that too. I'm not sure, but narrative wise, I don't see that many issues with Orochi showing up like that because he didn't identify it as him. I think we'll get the most reveals when 108 actually like starts, like when Saitama first walks up on his ass, or when Orochi first walks up on Saitama.
Grim, you're right. I think that might actually be where this is headed. Because maybe now Orochi sees him, and he's like, that little bastard. Send a Rover after him or something, you know? Because there was no like prior way that we knew Rover sneaking up on Saitama, right? As far as I remember, they kind of just show up and they meet, right?
Yeah.
So
But,
this might be setting that up. It's like they send Rover after him, and then this little squad right there runs into Rover, and then Saitama's like, you guys go on ahead, I'll take care of him. This is the noise complaint I was looking for. And then that, clears that up with Child Emperor, who's suspicious of Saitama.
Then that's also minimalistic revision. That just you change up the first bit, the fight can still happen as we've already know it.
Yeah. And then I guess instead of Child Emperor going to the surface with like Hellfire and Gale and Waganma, it's just going to be Watchdog Man, and Child Emperor stays down.
I mean, Underdog.
He just goes straight into battle with like Evil Natural Water, because before he left the Monster Association and then came back. But now it's like Watchdog Man here kind of removes that whole element, and he could just do it by himself.
it's just I didn't have a problem with any of that. Like all that stuff was good. It's just like now we're just I don't know, bro.
No, I agree. It was cool because remember when Child Emperor was like being a badass when he was on the surface?
bro.
They're like, oh, thanks for saving everyone. Let's get the hell out of here. He's like, you guys go on ahead. I'm going back in.
Yeah.
And then Mizuki's panties got wet.
Oh my god! I was hoping he was gonna get past that.
Okay, I'm going to give you guys a little like taste of some of the ideas I have.
Oh, man.
What his like future part in the series might be, and it only pertains to the future, Evil Natural Water fight. Mostly because it can't happen right now because it's way too soon for that. Okay, he has penguin mode now, and he has ice powers. Well, Child Emperor, if he could obtain similar kind of research, whatever, or he just uses Phoenix Man as a whole and combines that with his Frosty robot, whatever it was, I forgot if it even had a name, and just double freezes.
Wait, so why is Phoenix Man helping him take down Evil Natural Water?
Because it was doing fairly well on its own, but if you add the power of Phoenix Man on top of that, I don't know if Evil Natural Water could,
What do you mean the power of Phoenix? Yeah, it sounds like you're trying to mix the suit and Phoenix.
No, why am I saying, why is Phoenix Man helping him?
It's like in Pokemon, if you throw a
Like I
Pokeball
said,
at him hard
it
enough.
doesn't work right now. But
No,
that
no,
would
but
be
why
a
would
stipulation that it
Yeah.
would work.
But why? Why is Phoenix Man helping Child Emperor in this scenario?
Well, like I said, it wouldn't work in this particular.
Oh.
But that would be a way that he could use him.
Even it didn't even really seem like the ice was like the way to defeat him anyway, because he just broke out of it naturally.
Nah, he used the nigga's liquid.
Yeah, but how did he get to that guy?
True, he did. He wasn't completely frozen, definitely. But no, I don't know, bro. The ice was definitely a problem for him. Like
I'm not saying it wasn't a problem. It was definitely a problem, but I don't think it was like that was it. That's how you beat him.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, 100%. Even Natural Water, if he was done by that, shit.
That would have been the easiest
Man.
fight Child Emperor's had.
That would have been worse than the
At
redraws.
least it could have at least like utilized it to buy enough time to then enclose him in, like another fish tank or something.
Yeah, he needs to get that glass case that Psychos had, whatever the hell that thing's made out of.
Well, don't viewers, don't be mad if you guys start seeing a change.org petition going around. They get rid of these fucking redraws.
You gotta make Japanese.
Bruh. We didn't even get the Gale win a Hellfire Flame cock.
You're gay, yo. Like,
But does
Hey,
that actually
I said
happen right afterwards, or I could have sworn that happened like a chapter or so later?
No,
But they
wow.
got resurrected and they were running around and they ran into Saitama.
Their
But now that's
dogs were
gone.
slapping on their thighs.
yo,
It's gone now.
Sasuke won his big cock, and Kisha's like, you can still get it.
I didn't say I wanted it. I'm just saying I noticed the absence of it.
You can't look away from a car wreck.
Yeah.
So when you see a
Damn it,
ninja
say no.
dong, what are you not going to look at it?
That's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Nigga's gay. Okay, yeah, so we gotta head out soon, so let's talk about the final portion of the adjustments.
Oh, Zombie Man.
Yeah.
Man.
I think it's around page 42.
This right here makes me think that this is Murata's doing for sure. I could be wrong. This might be one, but considering it's going along with the revisions that we just saw, I'm thinking this might be Murata too. Again, still not entirely sure what's going on here. I'm sure we'll get more developments as time goes on, but regardless of whose decision this was, am I alone in thinking that this is weird?
It
Please
seems too
elaborate.
soon.
I agree, but elaborate.
Child Emperor and Zombie Man's interaction in these two chapters.
Oh, that.
Bro, this is homosexual fan service.
What? Huh?
And I feel like we've talked about it on the podcast.
We have.
We have this nigga tried to troll with that shit. I didn't think he was serious.
Well,
It's
apparently
fucking
it's a thing.
serious.
No, I'm saying it wasn't a thing. That was like, dude, I was looking for the evidence, and maybe I'm still missing it. But before this sequence, I was looking for the evidence as to why the Korean and Japanese niche fandoms shipped these two characters so hard. I was like, do they have some kind of moment that I'm not aware of? Do they have some like Bakugo and Kirishima stuff going on that like I don't know that I've turned a blind eye to? But they haven't really had any extended like moments that any other characters haven't had. So this is just kind of out of left field, right?
What
Am
about
I alone in thinking that?
For in the manga, you're 100% right, but is there like OVA or anything else like that? Because there's like
The only thing that I think that's even close to that is the sixth one at the end of season 1 and season 2. And I even haven't even seen the second season 6 OVA, but in the sixth,
The spa?
for the first one, it's just a murder mystery. And pretty much everyone has like the same kind of interactions there. But regardless, it's the OVA.
and it has to be cultural because I'm in the exact same boat with you, bro. I've reread so many times, and there's almost no interaction between the two besides they get into the meeting. Even in the original reading in chapter 33, I think it is 32, they don't have.
Yeah, 30. Or yeah, you're right, 32. But anyway, you guys remember when I was talking about that on the podcast a couple months ago, right? About how they kept shipping them.
mentioned
Gay
it
boy?
in my reaction when it happened.
Okay, so I know that I'm probably going to piss off a lot of people when I say this. But does this seem like Murata or whoever did this is straight up pandering to the fandom?
Yes,
If
Like
it's
to
out
a fourth wall breaking degree?
that in particular. The rest of it just seems like bad revisions, but that in particular, yes. Like that seemed forced as fuck. Like, bro, I'm telling you, like this whole like not being confident shit. That I don't have any instance of that. Like the build up for Darkshine being scared or not having to fight at that point yet, or not having like fought that big of an enemy yet, that made sense. That was built up correctly. That's fine. That fit in the story perfectly fine. Even though he said eek at the end, that's okay.
He's
This
like
does
Brock
not fit.
Lesnar.
yeah, this doesn't fit. Zombie Man is now all of a sudden the person who's reassuring you. Wasn't it at the beginning of this fight that Zombie Man was talking about how Child Emperor may have sent him down his path and he's fighting more enemies than normal? He may have been screwing him over. That's the only interaction that I thought of, and I think they didn't change that here. There's no connection for that. It's just forced as fuck, dog.
I ain't gonna lie. This is the first time this has happened. But I have not read these pages.
What?
Oh, you probably didn't know about.
There we go.
I just happened to get lucky that yesterday is when I did the 2 100 chapters, part 1 and part 2, and I just happened to see someone mentioning on the server where they have they'll tell you the chapters when they drop and stuff, and they said that there was a few at the end of the Zombie Man chapter. That's the only reason I reacted to those.
Wow, no, I had no idea. And the worst part is, it sounds like Satsuki had an idea before I did.
Wait, I did?
Wait, so you didn't know either?
Hold on. Let me see.
But we gotta head out soon. So like, narrative wise, these machines seems to be reverse engineering from Metal Knight's bots.
Yeah, I guess this is the thing that G5 actually gave to the Monster Association, because they were, they had their alliance. Like, he was going to help them out. They were going to help him or whatever. So I guess this is what the bone that he threw them.
Yeah, this makes sense. Yeah, I thought it was just him reverse engineering the Metal Knight bot, but if it's like that, he brought these from the beginning, then that makes sense too.
But then also, now this is going to probably cause some problems, and I don't want to cause it. I really don't, honestly, guys. I swear to you. And everyone else listening, I know you guys probably don't like me, but trust me, I don't like causing drama. I don't like causing issues. But don't you think it's weird that the explanation that Zombie Man gives here for him taking down these robots is a little too fast? Because technically, Child Emperor just got that information, right? When he got the information from the Metal Knight robot that was on the table in chapter 97.
Yeah.
So he got all the info, put it on the hero internet, and then Zombie Man was like, "Oh, I understand these schematics."
How did he even receive that information?
Look, I'm suspending my disbelief. This is battle manga. I always do it. I'm just saying that, or dare I say that this might be just a little bit sloppy.
No, it is very sloppy.
Just a little slop. He picked up the spatula and just the tip of it got on there. Just a little bit of slop. Maybe I'm wrong. That's fine. Wouldn't be the first time.
Bro, the question is is it reasonable to expect these things to be adjusted?
No, this is it. Well, I mean, in the span of time that the volume is going to be printed, which could be a couple weeks from now. I don't know. Maybe it's going to come out July 5th or something. That's
right. I forgot.
In that span of time, there could be changes, maybe to dialogue or something, but I don't think we're going to see any more rewrites possibly. I think this is going to go into the volume, and then after that, it's this is the continuity now.
Yeah, the volume puts a time limit on any of this.
But then again, we don't know the exact timetables here. There definitely is some room to make things happen.
I mean, when we got that tweet 2 weeks ago,
Actually, a specialist.
That was a declaration that you can pre-order the volumes already. So it's not like they're completely out of the realm of possibility within a month they could be out and ready.
Yeah, Vib told me that they usually come out the 5th of the month or something, and it was maybe supposed to come out this month, but because of everything, it's probably being pushed to next month instead.
Well, the obvious connections with the organization pretty much clear there. Zombie Man took him down pretty easily, so it does make sense that they would be weaker than G5 himself.
No, he definitely threw them some bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, there's probably duct tape in there.
Yeah, but I'm like, how quickly he made these things. Like that might be scary.
I think he might have used like some of Monster Cell's stuff. It looks like there's like a biological element to their saws, doesn't it?
There was a little bit of organic nature to them, I think.
Or maybe he just modified a monster or something. I don't know.
Look at those chainsaws. They look like something you like. You know how like the shit. Why can't I ever think of it? You know, aliens and stuff. Like,
yeah, I know aliens and stuff.
No, like the movie Aliens, and then later in the series,
yeah, I mean, any answer to that question, I know.
It's like, and you see it on the walls and all that.
Yeah, the H.R. Geiger design.
It's like that's kind of what that looks like to me, anyway.
No, I agree. It does look like that.
And then with the fact of that mask looks a bit more organic than it does, made out of metal. So it might actually be like made out of bone. Which then gives it that more of a skull-like design. But then the rest of the body is a bit more, what you would expect. But there could be like muscle tissue, like in between like the shoulder and the chainsaw, and I don't know. The more I look at it, the more I'm like, okay, that could be something. I don't know.
We gotta run this thing through an autopsy.
Well, that's how we got it, so maybe.
All right. That's about it, right?
Yeah. 3 chapters.
4, yeah.
I mean, it's multiple updates, so it seems like it's more. Because, like, I think chapter 100 is what, like 60 pages?
Yeah. I was...
Took me over an hour to do my reactions, so it felt like forever.
Yeah, now you guys know what it feels like with these webcomic chapters that we get from one. He releases them in batches like this.
I've noticed that.
It's awesome, though, because it's like now we have so much stuff to go over at once. But
then
I prefer bi-weekly, trust me. I prefer just bi-weekly or even weekly, Us, My Hero, and One Pieces are just spoiled at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and except when Odin's like, I'm taking a break this week.
Not this week, baby.
I know, and that's what I love, but then expect it next week. But like
that's fine.
It was like right after Golden Week, he comes back and then he takes another fucking break. It's like, why, Oda?
God does what he wants.
Apparently. Oh, I want to throw out a weird idea. It just popped in my head that might explain the Child Emperor and Zombie Man weird connection.
Some gay shit?
What? No,
what?
No. It's just, how like in especially 80s movies, but we also saw it a lot in 90s movies, where there's like a child meets a monster, an alien or whatever.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I'm on board with that.
And plus the fact that he's also closest to a human in terms of like the S-class, maybe there's a bit more of like, that's the reason why he would appreciate Child Emperor more, It's like, well, I'm just kind of a dude who can, I can regenerate, but, if that ever got screwed up, I'm, I might be dead for real. It's like, so any help you can provide, hey, I appreciate it, man.
Can't wait till we get Zombie Man's backstory. I know it's going to be tragic.
I just need a scene now, and like he's just brought up of like an ET of Child Emperor riding the bike, and Zombie Man's in the basket. Flying across the
man, been down. I can't fucking see to fly this thing.
You just gotta believe, Child Emperor. You just gotta believe.
Dude, I think he probably say some shit like that. New Zombie Man. This is new Zombie Man. This ain't my Zombie Man. The original Zombie Man from Chapter 101 would have never said some shit like that.
Hell no, bro. That gay nigga shit.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he wouldn't.
No, but that's another thing too. Like the whole feel is thrown off now. Like we got a similar like gritty feel to all the fights. Like it was like this is just wrong. Like, this is wrong, bro. This is like, it's so out of place, bro. Like, all the fights were like gritty and like tough in succession. You got the flashy fight, you got the child fight, you got the
Prairie fight was especially great.
the Amai fight was kind of like an intermission, but then you got the Darkshine encounter again too, the Saitama encounter again too, the Orochi encounter. Like, everything was just falling in place, session after session after session. Like, it all felt like dark and gritty, but this shit is like gay. Like, it's lighthearted. Like, none of that, man.
Dark and gritty too.
So the immediate antonym in Grimm's head to the dark and gritty was gay.
Yeah. on both ends of the spectrum.
It was
Gay on
foreshadowing.
one end, dark and gritty on the
The sweet match chat was foreshadowing.
Yeah.
When the OS yelled out "gay," he trying to warn your ass.
It was the hint. It was the key all along.
All right, guys. If you guys want to check out more of the One Punch Man podcast, we have a whole playlist where we've covered all the chapters, I believe, starting from chapter 93. Everybody here puts out content on a daily basis, most often, kind of, sometimes, maybe.
Okay, sure. Whatever you say, man.
You just lied.
Daily
I mean, maybe shonen. That's like it.
But if you watch all our videos, you get like you might get a video a day, like all of our channels together.
Excuse me.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense.
Like that.
all daily double uploaders here.
So check out everybody's content. The links in the description below.
No,
if you
go to my channel.
you got like 63K now, right?
Just
Shit.
add it to your banned block words in your browser or on your phone. My name, add it to it, please.
Everybody subscribe to Zhoniin and request a face reveal at 75K.
Yep.
Good job,
So,
guys.
75K.
Remove that from the podcast.
If you guys want to talk about the topics that were discussed in this podcast, your thoughts on the Phoenix Man redraws, or anything else you want to discuss, come into the Discord. The link is also in the description. We talk all day long about anything, so you already know.
Yo ho ho.
Nah, man, I can't even, like, fuck, bro. Every single time I mention the Phoenix draws, it's like,
Oh.
Murata drained you like that?
bro, like, fuck this man, bro. Like, Phoenix was everything, bro. That nigga was everything, bro.
So Phoenix is trash, huh?
Yo!